Their training was very bad. We were not advanced at all with the technology. It was you had a phone and a stack of leads. Now go put 10 grand on the board. And that's how I learned. And at the end of my first year, I missed putting 10 grand on the board 2 months in a row. And the sales manager there's like, Eric, you got 1 month or you're out. You missed quota 2 months in a row. So it's like, okay, I got to figure out, create revenue now or you're out of a job. And that's when I met Dr. Moyne. The quota was 10 grand a month in gross sales. The month I was on quota probation, I did 10,500. So I made quota by one sale. That was in March of that year. Or no, that was in February. That was February of that year. September of that year, I did 160,000 in a month. I did 16 times quota. And I did that by selling to groups. Public speaking, selling to groups. Create revenue now. I learned, Dante didn't have to tell me create revenue now. It was, Eric, create revenue now or you're fired. Then I went and worked for, the biggest name out there. Maybe the most commercially successful speaker in history. And I was with Tony for 3 years. And that job there was put 2,000 on the board a day. 2 grand every day. And we'd go out into companies and we would speak. I'd be in Chicago or New York or Dallas, and I'd go into 2 companies a day, and my job was to come out of each company with $1,000 in revenue. So this message got in my bones. Most people don't have a background like this. So you haven't been trained at a high level to think like this. And it's just something to notice. So now if you want, you and I can team up and let me install this level of thinking in you, wrap the right business model around you so you can go out and do what Steven, that gentleman I showed you on a couple slides ago. And you 100%, you need the right business model. That could be one of your 10 best ideas of this class. You need the right business model. From my view, you need to create revenue now mindset. When I started Eric Hoffman International, I just left Tony Robbins. So I was with Tony until I was 28. I left Tony Robbins' organization, started my current company, and the company that I'm representing with you right now in 1999. And when I worked for Tony Robbins, that year, my last year with Tony, I made over 90 grand. I had medical insurance. I had a special package with Tony. So he gave me a rental car. So I had no car payment. He gave me housing. I lived on the road. I was put up in corporate housing. He gave me a cell phone. So I had basically no bills, making 90 grand plus. So I walk away from that and I start Eric Hoffman International, and now I have a mortgage. And now I have a car payment. And now I have a cell phone bill. And now I have insurance. And I didn't have 90 grand anymore. So it's like, okay, Eric, put on your selling shoes. I didn't have the option of going 6 months without revenue. I had to generate revenue right away. And what that did is it caused me to expand my comfort zone. And I continue to this day to continue to expand my comfort zone. And that is a very important thing that's probably true for all of you, is you're bumping up against your comfort zone. I remember the very first time I ever wanted to charge $5,000 for a program. And I got this bright idea. It was actually a brilliant idea. I got this brilliant idea to sell a $5,000 program. And I was scared. And I don't have time to get into that story, but I almost didn't do it. And I did it, and I made 2 sales. And I had 10 grand. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I had $10,000. Snap your fingers and 10 grand showed up. But I had to have the courage to expand my comfort zone. Some of you have perhaps thoughts on a larger package that you could sell, but it's just a thought. It's not like a goal and like this is happening and next month I'm going to make this offer. So here are the outcomes for today. I'm going to teach you multiple create revenue now strategies with speaking coaching. I've already given you a bunch of great content. I got a bunch more of great ideas to share with you. My second outcome is to invite you to join my Create Revenue Now speaker and coach community and be mentored directly by me. And so I'm excited to share that with you because I know some of you are looking for mentorship. Throughout my career, I have looked for mentorship. I have 2 AI mentors right now that I'm paying big bucks to, and they're mentoring me in AI. I'm hungry for AI mentorship to grow my speaking and coach business. So some of you are in a place right now where you're hungry for mentorship. And if that's you, man, let's rock. I would love to work with you. Create Revenue Now starts with the mindset and your being. So I want to share with you a little bit about what I learned from this gentleman. This is Steve Hardison. Steve Hardison, in my view, is the world's leading expert on a distinction called being. Being is in state of being. Now, no one needs anybody to teach us how to be, right? We're all being all the time. But Hardison studied being for decades, and he is the world's leading expert on being, in my view, and he commands $4,000 to $5,000 an hour. So I did a 10-hour coaching block with Steve, which is about a day, 10 hours, about a day of coaching. $45,000 I invested to spend 10 hours with this human being. You go, Eric, that is crazy. Or you're like, Eric, that's brilliant, right? Or, man, what? 45 grand for a day? And here's why I did it. Because I felt what he knew about being and me understanding what he knew and what I could glean from him in 10 hours was more valuable to me than $45,000. So I'm going to give you some of those insights right now because you're being, and I'm being somebody right now. And you're being somebody right now as it relates to speaking and coaching. So I want you to take a look. Who are you being right now in your speaking and coaching? Are you being, I'm getting ready to get ready? Are you being, is my message relevant? Are you being, do I have what it takes? Are you being, I'll get to it someday? Are you being, I'm called to do this work and I'm answering the call? Are you being, I go out and take massive action daily to make a difference in people's lives? Are you being, I burst through comfort zones to get my message out to the world? So take a look. Take a look at who you're being. Now, observing your being is not the big idea, right? Like, let's say you observe your being and you go, I'm afraid to give my first speech. And you get present to that. Okay? Being afraid to give your first speech is called, hello, you're a human being. Okay? We all have fear, right? You're being a human being. The real value is not in observing your being, in my opinion. The real value is, who do I need to be in order to create what I want? Or who do I need to be to answer my calling? So check in with yourself on that. Just play with me on this. Type something in the chat right now of what you're present to. Who do I need to be in regards to speaking and coaching? What's one thing that you're present to of something that you need to be in regards to speaking and coaching? And I would love it if every one of you would type something in the chat right now. I'm pouring into you. There's no cost for this training. I'm bringing the energy. I'm doing my absolute best to deliver an impactful message for you. So type it in the chat right now. What are you present to? Who do you need to be in regards to your speaking and coaching? Okay, I need to be a doer. I need to be bold and fearless. I need to be my best self. I need to be confident. I need to be calling people and offering support to their current issues. I need to allow more, right? And these are all great answers. And this is an ongoing inquiry for the rest of your life. Cynthia Kersey wrote the book Unstoppable. Okay? Maybe you need to have some of that Cynthia Kersey rub off on you. I need to be unstoppable. I need to be embracing technology. I need to be booking speeches now. I need to be create revenue now. I need to be let go of the old me. I need to be somebody who powerfully leads others. I need to be a team builder. And the thing is, you can step into that. Right now in this moment, I'm choosing to show up and to be powerful and confident to impact your life. I could have shown up and said, I'm going through the motions. We get to choose. So Hardison taught me we're always being, we can observe our being, we can shift our being. And you start looking at the being that is needed to create what it is that you're called to do. This is the three distinctions of being. This is what I want to teach all of humanity. And I'm teaching you right now this idea. I want all of humanity to learn this. We're always being, we can observe our being, we can shift our being. So the father who's blowing up at his teenager, and it's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, my teenager and I, we're having odds, and I blew up at him again. Oh, okay, well, why is that? Why are you blowing up at your teenager? Don't you know I have a short fuse? So if that father is being, I have a short fuse, as long as he's being, I have a short fuse, then that pattern of behavior is going to continue. Now I could coach the dad, and I could say, so you blew up at your kid because you have a short fuse. Is that right? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, so let me teach you something. Instead of saying, I have a short fuse, say, I'm being that I have a short fuse. Because that word being implies choice. That can be one of your 10 best ideas of this class. The word being implies choice. Because if the father's being that he has a short fuse, he can be infinitely patient. And you know what would happen?